Hey, Ideal Protein Nation. Welcome to episode 41 of the Life Possible podcast. Are you ready? We have an absolutely unbelievable and inspirational story for you today. I can't wait to bring it to you. For those of you who may or may not be tuning in for the first time, the Life Possible podcast actually spotlights successful clients, coaches, and clinic owners who have used the Ideal Protein protocol to reset their body, reset their mind, and actually reset what's possible for their life. These individuals truly have had life-changing experiences, and now as a result of that, they're pursuing goals and dreams they thought were dead and gone. They're pursuing goals and dreams that they never thought they could. And in some cases, they're pursuing goals and dreams they never even knew they wanted to. In short, they're busy living a life they love so much they don't feel the need to escape from it. And that's what we call life possible. So who am I and why am I even doing this? Well, I tell you what, there's no easy way to put this. My name is Dr. John Barnes. And about 6.5 years ago, I was fat, sick, and depressed. I had let anxiety and depression drive me into overeating and drinking, and that created a whole host of problems. And by the time I did what I normally thought I could do by eating less and exercising more, it just didn't work. And so I thought I was stuck and I gave up. Here I am 6.5 years later. I'm over 60 pounds down from that original weight you saw in that picture. And last year I completed my first half Ironman triathlon, which is an example of a life possible goal I had in my 20s that I thought was dead and gone. So that's why I'm doing this. This is a passion for me, and I want to bring these stories to you, Ideal Protein Nation. So who do we have with us today? Well, we actually have two guests today. My first guest is Marina Perez. As the story goes, at 19 years old, Marina was diagnosed with polycystic ovarian syndrome, or PCOS. At 42 years old, she was diagnosed with obesity, high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, and hypercholesterolemia. At 43, not only was Marina more a healthy weight, but she was diagnosed with pregnancy. And at 44, delivered a healthy baby boy, Gabriel, which she never thought was possible based on her medical diagnoses and history. I was so excited when her clinic owner brought her story to me that we had to have her on the show. So we're also going to have her clinic owner and coach, Lisa Shaker Knopp. Lisa is down in Florida at Shake It Off Weight Loss and Wellness Centers, and she is one of the OG original Ideal Protein clinics in the United States. She has been with the company ever since it started and came to the United States. So she's got some really great history and some really great stories for us to listen to. So without further ado, let me bring these ladies into the feed. Hey, Marina.
Hi.
Hey, Lisa.
Hello.
How are you, ladies?
Fantastic.
Good.
Hey, so again, you ladies are down in Florida, right?
Sunny Florida. Sunny Florida.
Yeah, you care to share the temperature down there today?
I think we're about 85 today. 85.
Yeah.
And sunny.
That's almost twice the temperature it is here in lovely Washington, D.C.
Yes.
Not that I'm jealous at all.
Right.
So I tell you what, actually, I'm going to start with you, Lisa, real quick. I'd like to start off with your experience with Ideal Protein as a coach and a clinic owner, and personally, how you opened your clinic down in Florida and where you're actually now located.
Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you so much for having us. We're very excited. So actually, my story goes back to 2005. Prior to Ideal Protein becoming a U.S. clinic, I was struggling with my weight most of my life. My dad sold sporting goods for a living. I'm Armenian and Lebanese, so we ate leaves and olive oil for our meals. We were a very health conscious family. My dad always did tonics and elixirs, and my brother, Dr. Shaker, ended up becoming a chiropractic physician. He went to Life Chiropractic.
Nice.
So I was raised in a very organic household. I was raised very athletically. I was actually a really good athlete myself. I ran a 12 flat 100-yard dash 40 something years ago, which was super fast for a girl back then, before girls could punt, pass, and kick in the Title IX. I could punt a football as far as the boys in the neighborhood.
Love
But
it.
I battled my weight my whole life, and I didn't understand then what I understand now. I think that ideal protein came into my life to save my life. And I always tell the story about meeting Olivier and then subsequently Dr. Tran, the person who made our plan. And I
Yeah.
always tell them thank you, because I believe this saved my life. But there's always an impetus for your back getting up against the wall. I mean, I tried every diet known to man. I would lose weight, gain it back, lose weight, gain it back. I grew up understanding that I should eat less and exercise more. And so
Right.
I did that, but it didn't always work. And so then the impetus that kind of forced my body was my dad's untimely passing. He was on the golf course. He was 71 years young, and he dropped dead.
Wow.
Broke my heart. That was in August of 2004. I gained a lot of weight after he died, not because I, was in the closet eating bonbons. I used to call myself the organic fat girl. I was the one eating better, eating less, exercising more. I wasn't having fried food, fast food, soda. I managed my
Hmm.
alcohol, but I was just fat and I couldn't lose the weight. So after he passed away in January, I do, everybody does in January of 2005, I'm like, I'm going to eat better. I'm going to eat less. I'm going to exercise more. So I hired this high intensity training center. I went there 4 times a week with time and money I didn't have. And after 10 months of that, I was still fat. I was still 38% body fat. I gained 2 pounds in 10 months.
Oh,
I
wow.
was eating steel cut oats and organic blueberries and organic nuts for breakfast. I was having rice cakes with almond butter, all natural.
Oh
I
my
was having
God.
sweet potato and brown rice and measured meat. And I was fat and I was miserable and I had no energy and I didn't know what to do. And so by the time November of 2005 rolled around, I knew the apple doesn't fall far from the tree and I was in a lot of trouble. My dad's dad died at 44. My dad dropped dead at 71. My dad was the picture of health on the outside, but was a walking time bomb on the inside. He died from atherosclerosis. I mean, he had a great heart
Yep.
muscle because he was an athlete. He was playing paddleball, golfing, but he died. And so I thought, okay, you're 41 years old, you have 3 daughters, this is not good. So around about that time, I complained to my brother, and my brother just said, listen, I know what you're doing, but it's not working. He said, I want you to go talk to this natural health care doctor. So this natural health care doctor, I said to the doctor, crying on his shoulder, short of cutting out the fat and sucking out the fat, which I know is not the answer. What am I going to do about this fat? He goes, well, I heard about this protein in a package. I'm like, I don't do packaged food. I do whole food. I do real food. I do fresh food. I don't do that. And he goes, no, no, no. This is different. He goes, this is
Wow.
extra, not food. This is like pancreas. This is for your pancreas. This is a pancreas protocol. It's estrogen fuel for your muscles. I'm like,
Love
what in
it.
the world is this guy talking about? So
Right.
I drove myself to the first original workshop in Tampa, and this coach by the name of Julie. Obviously, we were not a US company then, we were Canadian only. And I went to this workshop and I listened to this lady talk, and she started talking about the pancreas and the hormone insulin and how you can eat better, eat less, and exercise till you're blue in the face and still not lose the fat you already have if you have a dysfunctional pancreas. And I'm
Right.
like, what is that? And she said, well, she goes, there's 3 categories of food. There's the food that, makes you gain weight, the cookies, the cakes, the candy, the soda, the alcohol. And I'm like, I don't eat like that. And then she said, there's the rabbit food, that food that will never make you gain weight, the lettuce and the celery. She goes, but there's a 3rd category of food that could prevent you from losing the fat you already have. And that could be an organic apple or a piece of whole wheat bread. And as soon as she said it to me, it was like, oh my Jesus, since I'm 13 years old, it's my pancreas. So I go up to the lady at the end of the workshop. I go, how do I get started? Now, this is November 30th of 2005. It is December 1st, the next day. I have plans like I can't tell you in December, ready to go. I said, I don't care if this food tastes like dog doo-doo. I said, if it does to my thighs what you said it was going to do, I said, I'll be a walking because nothing touches these thighs. Not lunges, not squats, nothing. So I jumped in on December 1st and I started this plan. I didn't know what I was doing, but I just followed the rules. I ate the sheet. Now, back then, we had one sheet of paper, period, and
Yeah.
we had
Right.
one
Right.
product that had to ship from Canada, and they were not salty. And I'm a salty, crunchy girl, and everything was
Yeah.
sweet and creamy and pudding. And I hate pudding, but I said, I don't care. I'm going to figure
Right.
it out. So I literally started plan, and in 10 weeks, I went from a size 16, 18 to a size 8, 10. I went from 38% body fat to 28% body fat. I reshaped my body in ways that I never thought was possible. Again, life possible, never thought it was possible.
Right.
Burned 5.5 inches off of each thigh, my hips, my belly. I could not believe it. People said, you're glowing, your skin is glowing. What are you doing?
Right.
It
Right.
was amazing. So I literally started teaching Ideal Protein in my home in March of 2006. I did a workshop every week in my home, invited strangers to my home, had a whiteboard, original
Yeah.
whiteboard training,
Love it.
started training the pancreas protocol. So when we talk about the OG, when I tell you I literally am the
Yeah.
first Ideal Protein clinic in the US, literally the very first. Taught and
Wow.
trained with Olivier. I was a groupie. Anywhere he was in Florida, I'd go follow him, listen to his trainings.
Sure.
Did that. So, anyways, finally, 2008, we became US certified to be US company clinics. And Olivier approached me with Mike Ciel, our pharmacist,
Yeah.
and another gentleman, and we started this movement, as we called it, in the US in February of 2008. I was up and running with my first clinic, and I have not backed down. I have done a training and a workshop every week until COVID. Every week I did trainings and workshops, and I still do them. I just don't do them in person like I used to. I do them
Yeah.
now again, but I am just as passionate today as I was, back then. The difference is now I'm older. I'm going to be 60 soon. I'm
Oh
menopausal.
my gosh.
I've
You're
got different
kidding me.
things, No, I'm about to turn 59 in April. So I eat, live, sleep, breathe ideal protein every day on purpose with a mission and an intention to save lives, to help. I'm not a nutritionist, I'm not a dietitian, I'm not a doctor. I'm literally a health coach, and I just can't get enough of teaching this. And that's my story.
Wow. And you're sticking to it.
I'm sticking to it.
Hey, Marina, did she take a breath in the middle of any of that? I don't think she took a
No, I was taking it for her.
breath.
Thank you.
And again, I love this. And I love that's why I have coach and client on, because I love seeing this relationship. But so often we see that is a clinic owner's story, right? And that is a successful clinic owner's story, that it saved their life first. It changed them dramatically. And now you can't shut them up. You can't stop them. They want to help the world, and they just want to do that for as many people as possible. And I just can't even, I
And
love it.
I know I say I a lot, but I have a great team of coaches that that we've
Yeah.
developed over the years, and some really wonderful. We have so many stories, right, Marina? We have a great staff.
Yes.
Yes, our team is very well educated, and we have a great team of coaches, not just me, I, but
Yeah,
it
I'm
is
sure
my
you do.
story that I share, but
I might bring my team down to get trained by you at some point. Wow.
I love that. I'm an open
Yeah.
forum for that. Absolutely.
So Marina, I want to
Hi.
hear from you. Um, tell us your story from the very beginning. Tell us as far as way back from 19 years old, or whenever you started to struggle with weight and health issues. And I want you to bring us up to the point where you found out about ideal protein, because it's a cool story.
Yeah. Well, during my teens, I was that typical teen that I didn't know what I had. I was just, I had, I didn't have normal menstrual periods. And unfortunately, when you have PCOS, you have the tendency to continue to gain weight, no matter what you did, no matter, if you exercise, you gained more weight. I mean, it just nothing helped, because I didn't know what I had to do to control PCOS, so all throughout my teens and 20s, 30s, I tried to do Jenny Craig, Weight Watchers, ediets.com. Nothing helped. Nothing helped.
Yep.
And in the year 2020, it was actually during the pandemic, my boss actually, let's start in 2019. Like I said, Ideal Protein is an answer prayer. I
Yeah, we talked about this when we were getting to know each other. Yeah,
yes,
please follow
I
this line for me.
I said, all right, I was like, all right, God, I know I need to get back to health. I need to get healthy. But I please put someone in my path that's going to educate me. I didn't want I didn't want pills. I didn't want shots. I didn't want to have a crash diet. I
Right.
wanted I wanted education. I wanted someone to walk me through how I can continue, not when I reached my goal, how am I going to be able to continue my life when I reach my goal and stay
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
And so that was in 2019. Come 2020, well, the lifesaver was thrown to me. My boss comes, he goes, Marina, you got to call my health coach. I'm like, yeah, I noticed you're losing weight. You got to call her. Okay, yeah, I'll call her.
Yeah. Yeah.
Second time, Marina, you got to call her. This is a great plan. You'll see the results.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll call her. Third time, he goes into my office and he stands right there and he says, I am not going to leave this office until you call her. And I looked and I go, for him to say that to me,
I
I was,
know, right? I love that. I'm standing over you. You're going to make the call.
and I look at him, I go, for him to talk to, I was like, okay, he really means it. And I go, okay, I'll call her. I'll call. And I dialed the phone and I said, yes, I would like to make an appointment.
Yeah. 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 Oh my God. That is hilarious. I love that.
And as soon as he saw that I made the appointment, he was like, I can leave now. And he left the office.
Oh, that's so great. Well, and two, when I was talking in your introduction, at this stage of your life, in 2019, or in 2020, you are 42 years old,
Yeah, yes, I was 42
and
years old.
you've got all these health conditions, right?
Yes, I was already, um, the doctors, when they found out, or I knew I already had PCOS, they prescribe metformin.
Right.
And however, with metformin, it fixes one thing, but it messes up another.
Hmm.
I had found myself, other than having high blood pressure, I was already taking high blood pressure medicine. I was taking cholesterol medicine and the metformin for the sugar.
Yeah.
Well, our bodies doesn't make B12. We eat it. And while I was taking metformin was draining my B12.
Wow. Yeah.
So it was to the floor. I mean, I was a walking zombie. I didn't have any energy. I mean, if I was able to sleep on the floor at work, I thought I
Wow.
would have been comfortable and just laying myself.
Yeah.
That's how weak, or like how tired I was, the fatigue. And so when they finally gave me a test result and they found it, they had me going to the doctor, starting with B12, where I had to go every single day for a week to get a shot.
Oh my God.
Then after that, you had to go every single week, once a week for the shot. And then you had to go back after you're done with that once a month. And I was like, am I going to do this for the rest of my life?
Yeah. Yeah.
Having to run to the doctor's office during your lunchtime, I mean, I was like, no, I can't. This is not, I can't do this. And I'm just always going to be forever grateful that my boss actually introduced me to Lisa. And so I started going, and I'm here now, and I keep on telling Lisa, you're not going to get rid of me. I'm going to be here forever if I have to. But I can say that she's been phenomenal in guiding me and educating me in what I'm supposed to be doing. And then again, so I can continue to live that healthy lifestyle.
Well, and then that brings us now to you, Lisa. So, do you remember when Marina first contacted you, when she first came in, and getting her started in the protocol? What
I
was that
do.
like?
very clearly. So it was March of 2020, right?
Yeah.
And
World is shutting down.
uh-huh. And she rolls into the clinic, and I have been trained, again, not as a doctor or nutritionist, but through our team of medical personnel, our pharmacists and our doctors, they've taught me how to look at health profiles. So I've been very well trained when it comes to females that are still able to be pregnant, the menstruating women of the world, to have a conversation when we get to that section. So I noticed that she had put PCOS. I noticed that she did not have children, and I noticed that she was 42. So we get to that section, and I say, okay, well, just so you know, I'm not, saying anything, but our plan protocol, when you start doing our plan, sometimes women find that they start menstruating, and more regular, the PCOS women their hormones get back online and they start having menstruation. And sometimes they ovulate when they weren't. And just so you know, you and your husband might want to use extra protection. And she said, oh no, we don't use protection. She said, we have prayed for 23 years to have a baby. And our doctors told us that we could never have a baby, maybe 1% chance. And she said, you know what? If that happened to us, it would be a miracle and we would deal with it. So I said, okay, I know I did my job. I told her, you might want to use extra protection. And she said no. And I said, okay. So we start on the journey. And she was a great, perfect client. She came in every week. She had her journal. She wrote every bite, lick, taste, sip. I call them BLTs, little bite.
Yeah, right.
Right. So if she did a bite of something, she'd circle it and she would tell me and we would talk through it. But every week Marina came, every week. She lost weight. She lost inches. She lost fat. She lost something. Some weeks, maybe not so much around a cycle, because then she started cycling.
She started having her cycle again, right?
It blew her away. And she's like, I can't believe I'm getting my cycle. But it was like clockwork. It became, I would write it in the paper. Oh, clockwork.
Yeah.
So we're at the 90-pound mark now. I think we're
okay. We're going to slow down, Lisa. Slow down. We are coming in hot.
Okay.
Right. All right. We don't want to get to the punchline too quickly. All right.
Well, anyways, yes, I remember the visit.
Well, and again too, and I think this is a great time to just kind of bounce around a little bit about our experience with health issues and with the ideal protein protocol. Again, as you brought it up, Marina, a lot of times women who are diagnosed with PCOS will get prescribed metformin. Much like type 2 diabetic patients will, right? And so we know that there is a connection there between the hormone insulin, which is the metabolic hormone involved in blood sugar regulation and all of that stuff. And now we find out fat storage, correct? So a high insulin level then is really going to start messing, unfortunately, with women's sex hormones and, very particularly hormones involved in ovulation. And so very commonly, Lisa, we were talking about this earlier, metabolic syndrome, right? All of those things now are pretty much considered a part of collectively of what we would consider metabolic syndrome. So high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, hypercholesterolemia, polycystic ovarian syndrome, the new one that everybody is seeing now, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. A lot of those things are just collectively seen together. And although you may not have been diagnosed diabetic back when you were diagnosed with PCOS, metformin was a drug that helped those people. They didn't know why, right? And just one of the things with great weight loss, when we start to really burn a lot of fat, we see that different hormones get re-released into the circulation, right? That's one of the things. Fat is a toxic dump for all kinds of stuff, and old hormones are one of those. So that's one of the reasons that I've been told, or we've been taught, that it might mess with women's cycles, right? They might have been regular, now they're irregular, right. And vice versa. Now as we're starting to see hormonal balance being restored to the body, a lot of PCOS clients we see them start to track their regular menstrual periods. It's something that we see all the time. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it just seems like, again, Lisa has had this experience so many years. She had the forethought right in the beginning to say, okay, well, we could follow this path all the way down. So you just might want to watch out. Right.
Yes.
But so along the way so far, even as we're getting to those 90 pounds, was your health responding in other ways? Like, Was your blood pressure responding? Were your sugars and other things responding? How did
Yes.
that go?
I actually, everything, just my high blood pressure just became normal and more than normal. And then my cholesterol became normal.
Yeah.
And even my sugar levels also became normal. And I had mentioned this to you before where I had to go get my eyes checked annually. I get, my eyes prescribed. And the group that I was in, even though it's, a different doctors see me every year, they see my medical records. And the doctor that saw me that day, she asked me, she said, did something change in your diet or did something change? And I said, yeah, I've lost 90 pounds. And she
Yeah.
goes, okay. She goes, because here on your medical records, it reads that we see strains of diabetes, but I didn't see any this time around.
Yeah. Wow.
So
Wow. And again,
even the eyesight,
Yep.
out of nowhere, right? Out of the blue, you weren't even expecting that. You didn't walk
no,
in saying, "Hey, I've lost 90 pounds. Does that affect my eyes?" Just not even considering that, right?
no, I never knew. I never knew. I said, when she said that, for me, it was like, whoa, I didn't realize that they could see that, but she noticed it. She noticed it, that there was no strain of diabetes in my eyes.
Yeah.
My
And
eyesight.
so, as your blood pressure and sugar and cholesterol is normalized, did your doctor start to reduce and remove those medications?
Yes, I didn't have to take it anymore, and I still don't have to take it anymore.
Yeah. That's wonderful. But so then, okay, now let's move the story forward a little bit. So you're down about 90 pounds. We're almost at goal. You kind of set a goal for a little bit further, right?
We were getting
Right.
close.
Yeah,
100
we were
pounds.
getting close. I only needed a few more pounds.
Yeah. But then something prompted you to go to your doctor. What? Take us through this part of the story.
Actually, it's a
Actually,
little bit.
wait. Because there you go. I want to show these before and after pictures.
Yeah.
I think these are pretty dramatic. At least I love the way that you really do take those before and afters
Yeah.
because they really show a great story. Marina and I were talking about that too. We used to take the ones from the back. Those are almost some of the most dramatic pictures too.
Yeah. So actually, Marina, correct me if I'm wrong. It was me before the doctor. Wasn't it me before the doctor? Yeah. So she comes in for a checkup. Is it okay to say this part now? Are
Well,
we at that point?
well, because I wrote everything down.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Well,
in
I
your
wrote
journal,
everything
right?
down.
She wrote in the
Yeah,
journal. Yep.
I
So
wrote in my journal. Well, I this is my side because I know,
yeah.
as the person, I remember putting on my journal.
I know.
I told her, I said, I may be retaining a little bit more water because I've been craving dill pickles, and you can eat dill pickles.
right. It's in protocol. Why not?
So she writes pickles, right? Pickles. She was pickles. But before that, every week she came in, she always lost weight. Even if it was like a tougher week, she would lose weight.
Yeah.
And even around her period, she would still lose a pound or stay the same. So she comes in, and I had written the week before pre-period. So I knew when she came in that next week, we were going to maybe see a period. So she comes in, she gets on the scale, and it goes up 2 pounds. And I go, wow. I go, well, that's never happened before around your cycle. I guess it's because you're getting pretty lean now that we're kind of seeing the water retention. She goes, yeah. And I wanted pickles all week long. So I sat there for a minute and I thought, oh my God, what if she's pregnant? I'm not saying that. She's 42 years old. She tells me she can't get pregnant. I am not going to say, do you think you're pregnant? So I'm sitting there on my hands, like going, like this little fleeting thought went through my brain. And
Right.
I said, no, there's no way. So then what happens? You tell him, Marina. Then what happened? That was on Thursday. It was
That was on Thursday.
It was on Thursday.
Then I had already made an appointment because I was feeling a little bit, some pain in my ovaries, and and because I was already expecting that menstrual period, I said, okay, something is going on. I was worried, maybe what if it's a cyst? I said, or
Yeah.
maybe it was an ectopic pregnancy. With PCOS, you just don't know.
Right.
So I had already made the appointment and I was supposed to go on Monday, but then just something, I was like, all right, well, I go, and I did take a pregnancy test. I actually did take a pregnancy test. And when I saw the result, I was pregnant. First thing I did before I called my mom was I called Lisa.
Uh-oh, mom's going to find out now
I
whether
was
she
the
knew or
second
not.
to know, right? Your husband first, and
Well,
then
my
me.
husband, I told my husband,
Yeah. Husband first, Lisa second.
actually,
I'm usually the second one to know.
yeah, I went when I got pregnant. I was actually in my bathroom upstairs, and I call my husband. I go, honey, come up here for a second. And he goes up the stairs. He goes, what? And I show him. He couldn't believe it. He just fell on his knees and he just thanked God. And he was like, thank you, Lord, for this opportunity.
Oh my
And
God.
I was like, we were both shocked. And then I did, and then I called Lisa and I said, Lisa, I sent her the picture.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Oh
And I
And
my
have
then
to
God.
say, the one part that I have to say about that is then I spent the next 12 weeks praying every day. Every day I prayed for Marina and this baby. I said, please, God, please do not let this lady lose 90 pounds. Please, God, do not let this lady get pregnant and not have a healthy baby. Please, God.
Yeah, right.
And
Right.
then we know what happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Oh,
then
so amazing.
I received the confirmation Monday, the next day, because I had already had the appointment. And
Yeah.
when I told them, that they asked, I missed a period and I'm having that pain. Obviously they're professionals. They gave me a pregnancy test and they confirmed and said, ma'am, you're pregnant. What was my reaction? It was more of like it was when it came out of their mouth, it was more
Right.
like, okay, this is real.
Right.
All I could do was fucking crying because I didn't know how to react. I was like, that can't be. That
Wow.
can't
Yeah.
be. But yeah, it was
Yeah.
positive.
Yes. And then,
Wow.
and then what did you say? Remember, then what happened? Then you said, I'm going to come and see you every week, no matter
Yes,
what.
yes. I made it my mission. I made it. I had now a motivation.
Yeah.
Like you had mentioned in the beginning of the show, I'm already 43 years old, and I was going to be 44 when I was going to give birth.
Yeah.
And I made that choice where I said, I don't want to be in that high percent, even though the numbers say that I'm high risk. I didn't want to be that percentage. I knew that I had to continue to live that healthy lifestyle to do my part for
Right.
the baby that I already had inside of me. And like I had
Yeah.
mentioned to Lisa, and I think I mentioned to you, was what I've learned with Ideal Protein, because it's not just losing weight, it's learning how you're supposed to be living and how you're supposed to be eating and what portions and why. That was another thing, is you're educated of the reasons why you're eating this way.
Right. Right.
Why is that you're not eating this, and why you should be eating this amount of proteins and your vegetables.
Yep.
And so I knew what I was gonna start doing from now on, now until always. Now I'm passing it on to my son. I'm gonna teach him how to eat a healthy lifestyle.
Yeah, we
Right.
had a great conversation when you and I were doing the pre-interview about, one of your legacies for your son is going to be a healthy lifestyle. It's going to be good nutrition.
Right.
And especially these days with the numbers we're seeing with children and children, not only childhood obesity, but they're getting type 2 diabetes. They're getting non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. These are diseases that way back when I went to school were considered adult diseases, and you never saw them in kids.
Yep.
Now we're seeing it all too commonly. So, yes, that is a lasting legacy that you will leave for Gabriel.
Yeah. So then we had to do a quick drop back and punt maneuver and
Right?
take her right off of the protocol into macro eating. Right.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
we
And we
also
start to learn what good nutrition's all about.
Yep. And then we
This,
knew that we had to, we did, Marina chose to continue using ideal protein during her pregnancy as weight management snack foods with
yeah.
good protein in it. And came every week up until month 7 to make sure that she was eating for healthy eating.
Yes.
And for not becoming gestational diabetic. I mean, that was a true thing that could have happened because of her age and her previous condition, but we never had that problem, did we? And the doctors always commented about your blood pressure, right?
Yes, that was actually because again, the group that I go to, it was a different nurse all the time, and because I was high risk, I had to be seen every week. Every other week was with a
Wow.
high risk doctor, and then the other weeks that the high risk doctor didn't see me, my regular OBGYN had to go see me. So I had different nurses seeing me every single week, and they would have to take your blood pressure, and it was always below normal. I mean, it was
Yeah.
115 over 80. I mean, it was just every time they would take, they're like, "Oh, the baby loves that."
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
So I had normal blood, high blood pressure, and I did not become just I didn't have gestational diabetes throughout my pregnancy. I had
Yeah.
a healthy I had the most healthy pregnancy that I don't know what it is to have an unhealthy pregnancy.
Yeah. Well, yeah, again, when you're going to get one, get one. Well, I don't know, maybe not.
And baby
But
Gabriel is calm, right? Baby
right?
Gabriel, easy baby, right?
Peaceful, joyful, lovable baby. It's just
Oh,
amazing. I mean, normal.
yeah.
I mean, just a blessing. A
What a
blessing.
gift. What a
Yes.
gift.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and like you said, Marina, it's about choices, right? I mean, that whole all this part of the conversation could have gone absolutely sideways. And you could have said, well, I gave Lisa a high five and a big hug and said, thank you, thank you. Oh my gosh, I'm pregnant. I'll see you in 9 months, right?
Yep.
And just kind of go off and do your own thing. Like you said, I want you to say it in your words, Marina, because you said it so eloquently before we got started about the choices that you did make to stay with a healthy nutrition instead of eating whatever you wanted. You could have
Yeah.
justified it, couldn't you?
No. I was sharing the story of how people have that misconception of you're eating for two, so fill up that plate. No.
Right, right,
I'm glad. I'm so blessed that I continue to see my health coach. And Lisa would tell me, because I tell her, what was going on, and bless my grandmother. And she had a very good intention. She goes, so now you got to eat for two. But by that time, I had already told Lisa that, people thought that they had to serve me eating for two. And she explained,
yeah,
she coached me, okay, let them know, no, you don't have to be eating for two. Yes, you're eating for two, but the healthy way. And I would
right,
explain that, where we have that misconception that just because you're eating for two, you're going to go on to a binge eating and eating whatever you wanted. I
right.
didn't allow myself to do that. If I could avoid it, even like Lisa reminded me, with my husband, he would want to heat up a bagel. And I said, I don't need a bagel. I'm fine with what I'm eating. No,
Right,
but
right.
the baby needs it. No, the baby doesn't need the bagel.
Yes.
So refreshing to hear.
And then
Yes,
not being on a diet, right? Like we say the
right,
word diet is not a verb. We don't go on a banana, we eat a banana. We don't go on a piece of bread, we eat a piece of bread, right? So the word
right,
diet is not a verb, it's a noun to describe what you eat, right?
right.
So people were worried that you were, on a diet, right?
Yes,
right?
yes, yeah. And, but yeah, I mean, I made it my choice where I said, just because I am pregnant, I'm just going to fall off the wagon and eat whatever I wanted. I continued to eat the healthy way with healthy portions, even though I was pregnant.
Mhm.
Yes, there was a portion, but it wasn't that, where the food was, just going overboard. No.
Yeah.
So, because I knew that if I wanted to continue to have that healthy pregnancy towards the end, that I had to continue and make the right choices. And I was making the right choices while I was pregnant and making the choices of what I was going to eat. And, as
Yeah.
so
And we had said it earlier too. The difference is, yes, you need nutrition for two, but you don't need double portion. Like you don't need to eat
right,
twice as much for two. And to
Right.
hear you say it even that way, well, the baby needs this, and the baby needs good nutrition.
yes,
And the challenge of it is we're seeing studies and science come out that shows that the health of the mother, especially with regards to insulin resistance and everything that we talk about, gets passed on to the baby. And that's why we're seeing babies that are born, much larger, and they're becoming much larger so fast that they're following these threads that gets passed on.
right.
It's so neat to see that you took that stance, and I love your pictures here, your pregnancy pictures. I love when people say you were glowing. You were absolutely glowing, right?
Yep.
Yes.
And I'm sure people couldn't wipe that smile off your face the entire time because you were so excited. Look at baby Gabriel.
Yes,
Here,
and
I've got more.
he was a healthy baby. He was not born overweight. He was a healthy size, and I was full term. I was a
Yeah,
full term pregnancy with the with the age that I have. I went full term.
Yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah.
so that means a lot
That's
Yeah.
a huge
because
deal, right?
yeah.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
exciting.
So I've got this picture up. Tell us about that first picture with the stop sign. I thought that was a really cute story.
That was actually the picture I used to reveal to my friends when, for them to see the before and after, where it said, "Stop, Marina."
Yeah, stop the direction you're heading in.
Yes,
Let's turn this life around.
yes,
And your boss, God bless him for standing his ground in front of your telephone.
Yeah.
yes.
Well, now too, also tell me about you're 44 years old and you've got this baby. How do you do it?
Oh, well, I this is what we call it, the what is it, Lisa? The non-scale, the
Non-scale,
Non-scale
non-scale
victories. Yep.
non-scale
victories.
victories. Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
non-scale victories,
Yeah.
where I realized it was Super Bowl weekend, right? We're at a family member's house, and I had to change the baby's diaper. And I had to change him in the bathroom. There was not enough space, but I was with my husband and I put the baby down, and I realized right there and then, because I had to squat for a very long time, because that's when the baby decided to take a little dump,
They
an
always do it just the
explosion.
right time. Just the right time.
I
So I
always
had
do.
to stay myself squatted for a very long time to clean him up. And as I'm doing this, I felt so grateful that I was able to do that without any issues. I mean, you know, I didn't feel uncomfortable. I wasn't out of breath. I could calmly clean him up calmly
Yeah.
without
Yeah.
rushing, because I was not uncomfortable, and I wasn't going to stand, kneel down on the floor. I had to stay squatted. And that non-scale victory was actually the moment where it just like a revelation of,
Yeah.
this is why you continued on your journey,
Yep.
because I was able to do that without any issues. Now, if
And
I
you
would have
fit,
been,
and you fit
yeah,
in the small space.
yeah,
You wouldn't
Yeah,
have been able to
right.
fit in that small space before.
no,
Besides squatting, right?
right.
You would have been in trouble.
All three of us wouldn't have fit in there.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So that
Wow.
was my moment where I said, wow,
Yeah.
I felt so blessed that I said that I continued the journey where, I knew how to continue myself to stay healthy and continue to stay healthy. And still, as of now, people look at me and they say, wow, Marina, like saying, you're still thin?
Yeah, right. Right.
People look at me like, wow. Like saying they expected to for me to blow up after being
Yes,
pregnant. I
they
don't
did.
know.
Well, they 100% did. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. And so yeah, you had Gabriel, et cetera, et cetera. Did you go back into phase one and reboot a little bit to
Yes.
start
Yes.
lose some of that last bit of weight?
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, I
Back
have.
on plan, right? Back
Yes.
on plan. Yeah.
Well, for me, one of the things
And
that I find,
she's not a nursing mom. Let me just say that. So
yeah,
she's
yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
not nursing,
No, yeah.
so
Mm,
we could get
right.
back on plan. Yep.
So it's all perfectly appropriate.
yeah.
One of the things that I would think that one of the reasons just to get back in phase one would be to get all that energy back, right? Because now you do, again, like, I can't imagine having a baby, at that age. When I was your age, I was that guy. I was fat, sick, and depressed. Like, we had friends that had a baby that was a surprise. And while it was wonderful for them, we were so happy, and I loved to hold the baby. I could not imagine the getting up in the middle of the night, all the energy it takes to have a baby at that age, because I had no energy. I
Yeah.
felt terrible, right?
Yeah.
And so, wow, you getting back in phase one, get back in ketosis, get the energy flowing, and get on with it.
Yes. And
Now
I
you get to push strollers and go to soccer games and, play with Gabriel and all that great stuff.
yes. Well, I've already found myself having to, put him on the activity gym on the floor, squatting down,
Yep.
putting him down, then picking him up, and then putting him down to another, entertainment. And so I find myself moving up and down a lot and without any issues. I can do it. I mean, I
Yeah.
can,
Blessing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Fantastic. Marina, I just want to thank you so much for sharing your story with us. It is absolutely inspirational story of life possible. If there was somebody out there considering, especially somebody out there with PCOS, considering should they or should they not do the ideal protein protocol or find out what this is all about, what would your advice be?
There is hope because, um, sadly to say, Dr. Barnes, doctors, their solution is giving you medication, prescribing medication. They don't educate you on how you can fix this without medication, where we can do it naturally with food and controlling of what we eat, what we shouldn't be eating. And it's not just popping a medication in your mouth. No, there is hope. It doesn't have to be with any medication. You can do it
Yeah.
the healthy way.
The healthy
Yeah.
way.
Mhm.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Lisa, any final words that you have to say about Marina's journey and somebody who's considering ideal protein? What would your advice be?
Well, Marina is a perfect example of when we say life possible, or that you can reset, or that you can reboot, or you can actually use food as medicine, like we talk about, and food is fuel. It's not
Yep.
right, wrong, good, bad. It's not, shame. There's no shame in food. We give food power. But actually, food can be powerful. Like you said, instead of doing the shots and the pills and the hormones, we can actually help people feel better and have energy with food. And, our mission, and we've been very good at it, knock on wood, for a lot of years now, is to educate. if we continue to educate, like Marina is a very educated client, so she can talk to her doctor, she can talk to her nurses, she can talk with intelligence, she can talk to other people, because every week she came in, she got some form of education. If she didn't understand something, we took time to explain it. We didn't just have her come and pick up food. We weighed her, we measured her, we chatted, we looked at the food journal, we did what the protocol says to do. And she did her job, because it's not just us, right? It's coach client. The client has to want to change. You have to want to change. But, together, we created something unbelievable. And in this case, ended up with a beautiful bundle of joy at the end of it. Something that Marina did not believe was going to be in her life. And this story to me is just unbelievable. It's so, I just wanted you to hear the story, and anyone who can hear the story, because there is, can we promise that every single PCOS woman is going to get pregnant and have a baby? No. Do we say that? No. But what we do say is that we call them shake it off babies. And in our, a lot of years of doing this, we've made many shake it off babies. And in 2020, we had about 4 or 5 deliveries from PCOS women who could never get pregnant and had problems with fertility, deliver healthy babies. 2021, we had about 3, including Marina, deliver healthy shake it off babies. That's what we call them. But
wow. I would hope you have onesies made up at this stage of the game that says shake it off.
That's a good idea. Maybe we should do that. Anyway, so no, the biggest thing is that, we are here to educate and help people the best that we can. And Marina wanted to change. She made the changes, and she's continuing to implement, not as a diet, but just as what she does, a lifestyle. We work on
nutrition.
So.
And I found, especially, and I did a couple of shows with Jill Bailey. She was also another woman who was fortunate enough to find a clinic that had ideal protein. And I don't know what it is about that 90-pound mark, because that's when she got pregnant as well. Again, having been dealing with PCOS her whole life. But it can be so frustrating for women who have PCOS and are looking to start families, because they are told, what is the number one advice they're told? Well, you have to lose weight, right? But then they're not told how. They're not given a good venue, a good way to do that. And that's what the ideal protein, that's where we are leading the way. That is our position. We are the number one drugless, non-surgical approach to medical weight loss and metabolic health restoration, right? I mean, that is really our place. And so that's why so many clinics have these stories, just like you have, Lisa. But you've got so many years of experience. You've got so many more babies on this.
Yes.
So that said, Lisa, if there's anybody down in Florida, what part of Florida should they be in, and where are you located with your Shake It Off weight loss and wellness centers?
Yes, we have 2 locations. We're in the Tampa Bay area. So we have one location actually in the Brandon, Florida area, just outside of downtown Tampa, about 15, 20 minutes. And then we have another location near MacDill Air Force Base. If people know where MacDill Air Force Base is, we're in the South Tampa area. And we have been in our South Tampa clinic since 2008, and we've been in our Brandon clinic since 2009. And so we got two great locations, got a lot of great coaches, great team members. So I don't know what else you need, but that's where we are. Fantastic. And we have a website. You can go to our website if you want, shakeitoffdiet.com. And there's a kind of an overview of the protocol, and you can reach out to us. And we'll be happy to at least give you some education. We do like to still offer some workshops. So if somebody just wants to come in and listen to a workshop, we'll make an individual workshop for you. So it's a little bit more one-on-one in this day and age, maybe a couple people, but we keep it kind of small now. And then also Ideal Protein has ways for us to, get a workshop to you online if you are not able to get into the clinic. So
fantastic. All right, ladies, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. We're going to get this story out. We're going to help many, many women across the country. Go back. I'm sure there's a spot on the beach waiting for you, ladies, since it is in the 80s and it's nice down there. Hey, actually, I did want to say, Lisa, that when Tom Brady threw that Lombardi trophy in the boat parade, were you the person that caught it? I saw that picture and I thought, Oh my God, she caught it.
Well, you never know.
You just never know, right? We'll let that.
We were on the
that-
water. We were on the water in our boat with Tom Brady. So
we'll let people connect the dots, whether it's true or not.
yes.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you for having us. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Barnes. Appreciate you.
Absolutely my pleasure.
Have a great
Absolutely
day.
my pleasure. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to bring this one in for a landing. That was episode 41. What inspirational story. Marina Perez, her beautiful baby and family, and what an incredible coach Lisa is. Ideal Protein, just one of another great example of a passionate clinic owner who is doing her best to bring nutrition and health to her community and to help us in our country. So, as always, please like, subscribe, and pass on the show to your friends and family members. We are on Facebook, both video and also YouTube, but then the audio version you will find on LinkedIn or on Spotify and iTunes and all the platforms that carry our audio podcasts. I will be busy at work on a next episode, trying to get that to you in about 2 weeks. If you happen to be in the Northern Virginia, Washington, D.C. area, my clinic is Reset Wellness. I'm out in Centerville, and we've been doing the Ideal Protein Protocol now for about 6.5 years. Our clinic has helped people lose over 26,000 pounds, and we would love to help you be next. So until our next show, stay on your journey to life possible.